A very good morning, everyone. Welcome to your tutorial class for week 2, semester 2, 2021. I hope all of you are doing well. Also, I hope you're also keeping yourself safe. As you can see over the news medias, the Western region is also rising in terms of the COVID-19 positive cases. Yesterday, we had close to about 550 cases in the Western division. So, while we are also suffering through COVID-19, the pandemic, we also need to ensure that we are going and doing well in terms of our studies, in terms of our careers as well. Meanwhile, we need to also take care of our families and our own selves. So it was about COVID-19. Do take care, everyone. And as soon as you get the opportunity, do get yourselves vaccinated as soon as possible. Now, just stop my video so that the transition of my voice to you would be quite clear and concise. So if you look at our Moodle shell, there you go. Okay, so if you're looking at the Moodle shell, now on week 2 section of the Moodle shell, we've already covered up the lecture notes, and the lecture quiz is already up on Moodle. Some of you have attempted it, that's good. We have tutorial that will be covering up this week's class. It's not so long compared to last week, so we should be able to finish it within 1.5 hours. And also you have a lab section. Now this particular lab section, if you'd like to, you can refer to the PDF file, or also I have put in a link to a YouTube video. You can go over that. We will not be covering data flow diagrams this week. We will be working on it in next week's class. Whenever I will be working on the lab portion, I need to ensure that I reduce the tutorial downtime. Okay, so we need to improve the downtime on tutorial. So either the questions would be a bit less. Now that would be a disadvantage point on your end. Okay, but I'll try to ensure in such a way so I have equal coverage in the lecture quiz, in the tutorial, and also in the labs. Now labs are a very essential part. Why? Because in a major project, you would be required to work with various UML diagrams, Unified Modeling Language diagrams, okay, UML diagrams. So you'll be working on that. And also these models and these diagrams, they are of great beneficial tool to system analysis to actually go up designing up and looking up the routines for your information system. Now for data flow diagrams, is basically a diagram whereby you actually show how data flows within the information system that you are proposing to develop. So that will be next week. Okay, so this week we will go over tutorial, 2 questions, the answers, and just like last week, we'll be discussing them. And if you'll have any questions or queries, you can ask in the middle of the tutorial questions. Now, before we actually begin with our tutorial, I want to hear from all of you. How are you doing? How are you catching up? Are you facing any problems? Okay, tell me your experience in terms of online studying. There's sort of drawback. There is a drawback to each and every mode that you're studying. Either you're studying through face-to-face mode, so the drawback is probably you'll have to come to classes every day. There's a compulsory attendance. You're investing money in your bus fares and so forth. Likewise, with online, there are some drawbacks. So I want to hear from all of you. Okay, so we'll go turn by turn. And what are some of the drawbacks that you're facing, so that I, as a facilitator, I, as someone who is conducting these online classes, I can improve on. Reason being, come the next few weeks of classes, those are things that I can look into. Okay, so we're all improving. We all want to deliver the best of the services. So this is my attempt in terms of making the services better. So we'll start from the bottom this side. Every time I start with Monish, so Monish is on the target. So let's not Monish in the target again. So we'll begin with Jainesh. So Jainesh, okay, I realize that you do not have a input device for you to speak. Finish, you there? Okay, Shannon, you are saying that your internet signal is weak. All right. It's okay, Shannon. If you are not able to speak, that's fine. Anyone else? Another message here. Trying to answer via chat. Okay, so if you have any issues, any problems, Shannon, please feel free to drop in via the chat message. I think Jainesh, if you'd like to, you can do the same. So we'll go over to Semi. Semi, how are you doing?
Good, sir.
All good?
Yes.
Okay, now feel free to open feel free to open up. Tell me, is there any problems you're facing, especially in regards to CI and 603? About the other courses, you may feel free. Now, with the other courses, you can speak to the lecturers about it, but with 603, I'm very much particular in terms of where are some of the places that we can improve overall. Semi?
So, the class is all right. It's just the notes. I'm just having trouble sketching update. But other
Okay.
than that, everything's all right.
Okay, just the notes, right? So,
Yes, sir.
I do realize that you had missed some of the lecture classes, eh?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, just try to go over the recordings, because normally in the recordings I do go around explaining the details even further. See, there's another thing with theory-based courses. Is generally that when you are studying a unit which is extensive theory, just like CN 603, probably in future you'll do CN 708 or CN 711. These are all theory intensive courses. So with theories, you'll have to do more readings. The more you read, the better you get over time. Whereas if you're doing a practical unit, that's pretty simple. It's just practical, and then you're able to apply it. With theory, it's more about you reading more. So what I would suggest in that case is this: make an attempt to read through your lecture notes. It's quite lengthy, but over time you must have realized while I'm discussing the lecture notes, I'm telling you what things are important and what things are not important. So try to study the important things. Even the non-important things, just go over them so that you have a better grasp of things. Okay, Sami?
So, thank you.
Okay, otherwise, if you're still facing any problems and queries, you're most welcome to let me know. All right. Okay, next up, we'll go into Ronish. Ronish, let's hear from you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Okay, so any difficulties you're facing from your end?
Laptop charging problem, sir. When we have back-to-back 2 hours classes, like we just ended one of the unit, like right now, 10. So,
Which unit was that, Ronish? 623?
yes, Mr. Saris,
Yes,
takes
623.
it.
Yes, yes.
So, the laptop charging, yeah, it 2 hours it battery chews up, and now I'm connected to charger and and I'm on the sofa.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's a challenge for you. Try to see if you can manage up in one way or that. See, another thing is what you can do is, just in case if you feel that it becomes very uncomfortable or it becomes very disturbing for you to sit on the sofa and not catch up with the things, because I do understand we all have families. Not everyone has a dedicated room whereby you can sit and study. So if you're still facing that problems, and if you feel that sometimes you're not able to hover me and stuff, you always have the video to refer to. That's why we generally go and tend to record the lecture, so that those of you who are not able to catch up while in the class, if you are having internet issues or something like that, the video is always there for you to refer to. So I think that's manageable, Ronish, right? What
Yes.
do you think? Yes. One other thing what you can do is probably have a lead wire extension cable. If you have one at home, use that. If not, you can always refer back to the video. And I know you pretty well. You can, I know you can adjust in one way or the other. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now there's the thing, because I know each and every one of you. I think I've taught each and every one of you like about more than one courses, but some of you I've already taught about 2 or 3 courses. So I know your capabilities. I know where you can actually catch up or where you can adjust things. Okay, so thank you, Ronish. It's good to hear from you. Try to see what other options do you have. Worst comes to worst scenario, if you feel that like sitting on a sofa is a bit disturbing for you with the other family members at home, you can always refer to the recordings. Should be a good help for you. All right, thank you. Next up, Ganesh, can we hear from you? Ganesh, how are you doing?
So it's all good.
All good from your end?
Trying to manage my timetable.
That's the challenging part, right? is it for you or is it for everyone? Anyone else agrees with Janesh managing time? Now, it's not just for you students, it's for us as well. Even I'm also finding bit challenging to manage my time. It's just like every morning 5 to 5:30 I have to wake up. So 5:30 I start my work and I don't realize when it is 5 p.m. in the evening. It's just challenging because I don't know if you realize it or not, like teaching online sometimes becomes more of a work to us as deliverers. Like when we have to deliver things online, it becomes more challenging and more time consuming for us. So time management is a issue for everyone, I guess. But it all comes down to how you manage it. It is manageable. It's not that it's not manageable. It is manageable. So I would suggest, Janesh, is you can do probably what I do. I make a timetable. So in a day, I list down all the things that I have to do. Generally, what I do is I put down 1 or 2 things more in my list. Why more? So that it gives me a sense of agency to get the work done as soon as possible. But moreover, with when you make a timetable, when you have a lot of work to do, please also make sure to take breaks. Do not just completely stick to your mobile phone screens or your computer screens. It can cause a lot of damage to your eyes, and more importantly, it can also do a serious amount of stress to your brain. So make sure you take adequate breaks in the middle. What else problems are you facing, Janesh?
So the rest is good. Only I have to manage my time.
You have to manage your time. Okay, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. It's achievable. Okay. So,
Yes.
so that is something from your end that you can try to put in, work out, and see how it goes. And probably, if you need some advice or any help, feel free to drop me an email or message, and we can talk about it. Or we can even talk about it in this class. Because remember, this is not just a tutorial class; this is a consultation class as well. So we can talk about these things. So it's good to hear from you, Janesh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's hear from Musharat. Musharat, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
You're doing good. Okay. Any problems, any difficulties you're facing so far?
Not really. My friends have discussed already this time issues and this extra effort to be put in, rather than compared to last semester and previous years. Math
Yes.
unit didn't need some attention, this much attention. Now we have 2 math units, 2 lecturers.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a challenging time for everyone. But um, one thing I can say is, when you have challenging times and when you try to tackle the challenge, you get stronger over the period of time. You get more flexible, you get more stronger, and most importantly, you get more confidence that okay, you can pull this off. So yeah, it's good to see that you are rising up to the occasion. Yeah. Anything else, Musharrat?
Sam, about this unit and the tutorial forum, does it
Yeah.
carry any marks towards our final examination or the final coursework?
No, it does not. It doesn't
Okay.
carry any mark towards your coursework. Why I had put it there is just in case if you're putting in your answers and later onwards, let's say instead of writing in a piece of paper or instead of putting in a Word file, you tend to lose those documents or papers. You always have it available there with you. So that
Okay, sir.
itself acts like a revision. So that was the purpose. Initially, I had thought of dedicating marks to it, but then I thought it would be too much work. Because I do realize with some of the units, you have a lot of assessments. So for example, if this unit was running on a face-to-face mode, instead of a weekly quiz, you'll have a mini project, 10%. Your mid-semester would have been 10% only. And just before your mid-semester, you would have had another short test. So
Oh.
10% project, 10% short test, and then mid-semester exam 10%, 10% for another short test, and then 10% for 10% for project. I think the short test they were about 5% each because there's another percentage mark for your presentation as well.
Okay.
So there were a lot of assessments. So we have gone down, trying our effort to reduce the number of courses, realizing that it would be a lot of work. So what I've done is I've just eliminated that feature whereby total answers, even if you put the answers, that's good for you. That's good for you as students. It's good for you because you have everything there in one hub in a Moodle shell where you can go around revising things. If you put it elsewhere, that's also fine. I don't have a problem if you put the answer there or do not put it there, but I would suggest to go around put your answer next to it for them. Otherwise, it carries no marks.
Okay, sir.
All right. Let's hear from Monish. How you doing, Monish?
So my online classes are going good, sir.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm going through a bit of network issues.
Yes, I've realized that, right? In your
Yes.
previous I think in the previous classes as well, you were going on and off.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, but just in case if you really have issues with internet connection, you can always refer to the video files. The recordings that we do.
Yes, sir.
You can always refer to that. I do understand that's extra work from your end. You'll have to take out some time and go over it. So this is what you can do. See, once you actually start viewing a video, somewhere in the bottom right corner, you'll see a YouTube link. Click on it, and the video will open up on YouTube. And if you're using your smartphone and your smartphone has access to internet connection, okay, try to open up the same YouTube link in your smartphone or YouTube, or you can probably just go and type to the heading, it will show up, and then subscribe to the channel. So while you're viewing it, let's say you stop at 20 minutes and you'll close your YouTube app. So when you actually go to that video, it'll continue off from there. So that makes your work a bit more easier so that you don't have to go around watching the entire thing or scrolling or basically scrolling on the play bar where you had left off. So work around something like that. That will make your work a bit easier. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Javi, let's hear from you.
Good morning, sir. Regarding I'm just facing problem with the timetable since I've just got we just finished off one class just at 10 o'clock.
Yes, with Mr. Salesh. Javi, you there?
And another thing is that I have to then once there's only certain places that the connection is good. So once I know the connection is stable, then I have to stay at that particular place.
Okay. See what you can do, Javi, in that case, just in case if you feel not just to Javi but to everyone, if you feel you have class in the morning and then you have a class here back to back and that becomes too heavy on you, so what you can do is this. If you'd like to, you can probably, if you're really tired and you think, okay, you cannot sit in the class for another 2 hours, you can always come back and watch the lecture recording. That's one. Two, another thing what you can do is, especially in terms of bad internet connection, there's another option. You can always go and watch the recording. Also, one more thing that I wanted to ask you is start to stay in contact with one another. especially with the the existing students here. We have more than this. We have close to about 17 to 18 students in the class. So the rest are working class students. So those working class students, generally they go and watch the recording. So try to be in contact with them. If you go to the participants list, you should be able to see who all are there. Try to be in good communication with one another and see where you can go around catching up. But otherwise, generally, most of the things I try my level best to cover almost every aspects of CN 603 in the lecture and tutorial class. So even if you watch the videos, that's going to help. And I will suggest the same, Javi. What you can do is, like I suggested, Monish, just go onto YouTube, subscribe to the channel, okay? And also next to the channel, you see a bell icon. Just click on the bell icon as soon as I upload a video, okay? So you'll be alerted on it. Now, there's a thing. I do not only upload CN 603 videos. There are videos for my other courses as well. So if you click on the bell icon, whatever videos I will be uploading, you'll be able to see that video. You'll get you'll be alerted on that video. Now, how will you be alerted? If you have logged in onto YouTube in your smartphone, the system tray. Do you know what a system tray is? It's just like when you receive a message through the use of Viber. So you get a message that somebody has sent you a message, and that sticks up on the system tray. So you'll have something like that coming up for YouTube as well and for this channel. So when you feel there's a video for CN 603, you can always hit the save button. So that will be saved right on the top of your YouTube viewing list. So that is sort of my effort, just to ensure that things come to you a bit easier, so that it's not burdensome or heavy on you. But otherwise, yes, I do agree. Online learning is a bit challenging, especially when you have a bad internet connection. Okay. Now, with Zoom, with Zoom and also with FNU's website and Moodle page, it is free for you to use these things. Okay, these elements. Watching YouTube, yes, that's where you will need internet data to watch it. Okay, so that's the part where I cannot control things. I can upload videos directly on YouTube, but directly on our Moodle shell, but it is going to slow down our Moodle page, one. And secondly, I cannot upload files which is bigger than 100 MB. Now, each lecture, for example, lecture 2 that we had, week 2 lecture recording, it was close to about 290 to 300 MB. So for me to upload that much file, what happens is Moodle rejects it. So the only next option that I have is actually go onto YouTube and upload it on a channel. So like I said, it's a bit challenging for everyone. So let's try our best to manage it one way or the other. Apart from that, do you have anything that you want me to do to make the learning transition a bit easier? If you do so, do let me know now. Feel free to speak. I don't mind you telling me to improve on few things. I surely don't have a problem with that. Anything you want me to improve on, you want me to add a few more features somewhere here and there, or if you want me to just reconsider something, anyone? Shen, yes.
I have an unrelated question.
Yes.
It's about something you posted on our Moodle last semester. Something regarding the attachments and stuff.
Okay.
I don't get what was written there. Like, is it something about COVID and stuff, and something
in regards to work attachments?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, this is final year students. Those of them who, because of COVID, now normally we have a procedure. So once you actually finish your entire program, you finish all the units in that program. Let's say you're doing BSc CSIS. So once you complete all the units, you're supposed to go out for 3 months attachment. So that was a compulsory element for students to graduate. So you finish all your units, you finish your attachment, you finish your project, and then you can graduate. Now, what the college has done, when we say College of Engineering, Science and Technology, is not for the entire FNU, it's only for our College of Engineering, Science and Technology. What they have done is they have removed that attachment portion. So you don't need to go for attachment because it's very difficult to find attachment, and you may not need to do your project as well. You can complete units and directly apply for graduation. That's what it meant.
Thank you, sir.
And also there's a good news for our CSI students. I don't know if you have read the email that came through FNU PR yesterday. Now, in your student emails, you will be getting all the emails that FNU generally sends. So in one of it, Telecom Fiji has now signed a memorandum of agreement with FNU. So they have agreed to take a certain number of students for attachments. So as soon as you finish your degree, once you meet the criteria, you should be able to qualify to go for an attachment. That means you won't need to go around looking for one. So that makes you a bit more easier. Now this is for CSI students. For education students, it's a bit challenging at the moment. I think you should be able to find your attachments very easily, but at the moment I think the assignment of schools that has come to a halt. So but I'm guessing you are year 2, so you still have time. Hopefully we go to a full recovery by somewhere early next year or mid of next year, then things will get back to normal. Yeah, any other questions, queries? We'll take about 5 more minutes and then we'll begin with the discussion of the tutorial. Anyone else? Now Shannon, I did see you posting. If you could ask me, you've said, sir, can you please ask Mr. Beeman to upload videos on Moodle? Okay, I will send the message to him. Do feel free to just send him an email or send him a message in Moodle. Okay, but I will, once I get in contact with him, most likely, yeah, sometimes today, then definitely I'll let him know. But do feel free to send him an email. Don't be afraid to send emails to your lecturers, but ensure to be polite to them. Sometimes we have students sending emails, and the emails tend to be a bit rude. Now, we are all humans. Somewhere down the line, we tend to make mistakes. We have emotions. Everyone has emotions. Okay, so try to ensure when you're sending emails, be polite, be respectful, and do convey your message to them. Anything else? So how's the cold weather treating everyone?
Very cool, sir.
Very cold. My country, Nandi, is extremely cold. What about your country, Lautoka? How is Lautoka treating you? Cold?
Freezing.
Freezing? Nandi hit the temperatures to 16 degrees Celsius this morning. So that's like a record. Good remedy for positive cases. Okay. Yeah, so it's getting a bit cold. So that makes it a bit more difficult to get out of bed. Nevertheless, people who are in countries where it's very, very cold, Australia and New Zealand, at the moment they would be very cold. Okay, Australia is hitting -degrees temperature. I just spoke to my cousin last week. She was going to work as early as 7 a.m. in the morning. The temperature was 2 degrees Celsius. So if you're complaining like 16, they're going to work at 2 degrees Celsius. So this shouldn't give an excuse to slacken out. Okay, 1 more minute. I'm intending to start the discussion at 10:30. 1 more minute. Anyone would like to just put up a comment or something? Yes, Harvey.
Yes, sir. Since last year I wasn't studying, so this online platform came in.
Yes.
And then now I'm like new to all these things, and just trying to adjust myself to adopt all these new
features.
Yes, so the features and the.
Okay, that's fine, Harvey. Just in case if you find something confusing, you find something that you're not very fond of, you can always, this is the moment. This is the time where you can speak about it, or you can ask questions, or like I mentioned, always feel free to send me a message on Moodle, or you can always drop me an email, and I will be most happy to guide you through. I would say the best platform is when we are in our lecture class and tutorial, because if you are really, really lost in something, I can just quickly show it to you straight away how you go around doing things. So that would be quite interactive. At the same time, those of them who are actually missing on to the classes and they are watching the video late, recording later onwards, and they are also facing the same issue as you, they can catch up. Thank you for letting me that know, Harvey. At least we can work on it.
Yes, sir. So now I forgot my email password, the student email, and then I have no contact to the IT staff.
Okay. Just before we actually close off the class, Harvey, just or even on Moodle, you send me your email address, email in which you would generally receive the emails, and I will alert ICT to send in your student email username and password. How does it sound? Is that good?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Right.
sir.
So I will try to get hold of one of the ICT guys who actually can, directly reset the thing and give it to it straight away on email.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Set? Okay. Anyone
Yes,
also
sir.
face, thank you. Anyone also facing similar problem as him? Any ICT issues in terms of username, your password? Feel free to let me know. Now, what I would need is this. I will need your IDs. Your IDs are generally with me as well, but just for clarification purpose, send me your IDs and the email address in which you are very much active at the moment. So that when ICT resets something, they will send all the details to you directly. They won't give it to me, okay? Because that's your credentials. It's supposed to go to you only. And as soon as you get it, try to change the password, right?
So should I just send it on a Moodle message?
Yeah, just send it to me on Moodle message. Send it to me straight after when we knock off the class. I'll let ICT, I'll copy you in, and then let's say within half an hour or so, they will be able to correspond.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sad, thank you. All right, let's move on to our tutorial. Okay, we had close to about matching questions, 10 matching questions, and 10 short answer questions. Now, the thing about this kind of questions is that, especially with SWOT analysis here, the internal and external factors, there are some, I find them sort of interesting, one, and also at the same time, I know it becomes difficult for most of you to understand these things. So my suggestion is for you to go over these elements as much as possible. Okay, so when we talk about SWOT analysis, you should know what SWOT analysis is, and you should also know what should be one of the examples. Okay, moreover, if you look at the 5 reasons for systems project, now not only you should just know the reasons, but you should also know, okay, why those reasons. So you need to question yourselves. First of all, if there's a concept, why, what, and how. Those are some of the things you should be able to answer. Now, generally, if I look at these questions, these generally covers up the entire lecture 2. So I've tried to come up with something like that. Now, for some of those questions, the answers may be long. For example, question number 8, question number 9, it may be long, but you can always adapt to smaller versions. Now, and you can only do that if you understand those concepts very, very well. Okay, so read as much as possible. It will improve. And it's just like this. Let's say there's a new billboard placed in somewhere, let's say just in front of FMU Ranthambore campus. First day it's been put up, you look at it, okay, there's close to about, let's say 15-20 words on the billboard. You'll try to read the word. When you come back in the afternoon, you'll try to recall, you won't be able to recall. Next morning you come in, you have a look at it again. 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day. By the time you come on the 6th day, those words are already in your mind. Why? Because you've been reading it over and over again. Have you realized it often? It works. It has worked for me. It works for almost everyone because that's how human psychology works. So the same thing, you need to do it with your tutorials. You need to do it with your notes. Now, with CN 603, I would suggest study your tutorials as much as possible. And also, when I'm discussing the notes, sometimes I say, okay, note this down. This is important. Please try to write it down somewhere. Extract those important elements, write it down somewhere, and try to read them over and over again. Now, I remember when I took a unit last semester or before last semester, I was actually giving you the revision questions. Probably I can do the same for CN 603 as well, but I will do it somewhere around in week 6, whereby I'll summarize the entire thing together and give it to you. So week 6 or week 7, somewhere around that, I'll create a video on it and I'll put up the entire set of revision questions. So you can write it down somewhere, find out the answers, and go over them over and over. So that will make your work easy. Okay. The best way I can say for you to revise. Now let's go over it. Now, CI 603 tutorial 2. So first of all, you have a matching question. If you're not able to see the screen on Zoom, do let me know. Identify the letter of the choice that best matches the phrase or definition. So you have few words. You have schedule feasibility, you have ETC, you have JIT, you have systems development, you have EPOD, you have systems request, you have control, preliminary investigation, organization chart, and you have case for action. So very quickly we'll go and answer them. So today it is much more team oriented in the past. So the correct answer there is E, system development. 2, this might propose enhancements for an existing system, the correction of problems, or the development of an entirely new information system. The correct answer there is F, systems request. I hope you have answered this. See, you can always come in the class without answers. I'm calling out answers. It makes your work easy. But if you have generally gone around answering it yourself, now you realize where you have gone wrong and you'll try to correct yourself. That builds up into learning. Question number 3. A system needs this to ensure the data is secure and accurate. The correct answer there is G, control. Question number 4. Technology that is expected to overshadow barcode technology in the near future. Answer is B, EPC. B. It's more like electronic process. Okay, electronic processing. Question number 5. System whose purpose is to provide the right product at the right place at the right time. The correct answer there is C, joint interaction technology. 6. With this technology, a supplier uses RFID tags on each crate, case, or shipping unit to create a digital shipping list. So question number 6, the correct answer is E, EPOD. Question number 7. When assessing this, a system analyst must consider the interaction between time and costs. A, schedule feasibility. Question number 8. Its end product is a report to management. That's preliminary investigation. H. Question number 9. Can be obtained during fact-finding to understand how a department functions. I, organization chart. Number 10. The part of a preliminary investigation report that summarizes the project request and makes a specific recommendation. J, case for action. Now, just looking at those keywords for the matching, okay, you should know what schedule feasibility is. You should know what system development is. Those are important things. Probably you can note it down somewhere. You should know what system request is, what preliminary investigation is, what organizational chart is. Organizational chart, do you still remember your organizational chart? If you go from bottom to top levels, so you have at the bottom you have operations, more like the ground level work, okay, or the ground level staff, and then you have managerial, more like the supervisors, and on top you have strategic or executive level people. So that's your organizational chart. So something like that. When you look at the words, it should give you some sort of idea in your mind. Let's go on to, now it's not necessarily essay, we'll treat it as short answer questions. So is it short answer questions? Yeah, short answer questions. So first one, what is SWOT analysis and why is it important? So I'll start dictating just in case, yeah, and you can write it down. So SWOT stands for what? Can somebody answer what the SWOT stands for? SWOT stands for what?
Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats.
Thank you, Ronesh. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. All of it with S at the end. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Do write it down, please. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now let's add on to the definition. Okay, SWOT analysis is a technique for assessing. SWOT analysis is a technique for assessing these 4 aspects of your business. These 4 aspects of your business. These 4 aspects of your business. Full stop. With SWOT analysis, businesses can make the most. With SWOT analysis, businesses can make the most of what they have, reduce the chances of failure, reduce the chances of failure, understand what they are lacking, understand what they are lacking, understand what they are lacking, and eliminate hazards. Hazards. H-A-Z-A-R-D-S, full stop. And eliminate hazards, full stop. Now, let's write down the importance of SWOT analysis. So, write down importance. One, let's look at the first important. It determines whether the business is healthy. It determines whether the business is healthy or sick. Full stop. Number 2, it gives a good understanding of. Number 2, it gives a good understanding of. It gives a good understanding of both internal and external factors. Understanding of both internal and external factors affecting the business. Full stop. Third point. It helps in the formation of. Third point. It helps the formation of. A strategy. It helps in the formation of a strategy to prepare for possible threats. To prepare for possible threats. From the competitors. Prepare for possible threats from the competitors. Fourth point. SWOT analysis evaluates. SWOT analysis evaluates. EVALUATS. SWOT analysis evaluates the business environment in a detailed manner. Evaluates the business environment in a detailed manner. To make strategic decisions. To make strategic decisions. Can somebody tell me what is strategic decision? When you talk about strategic decisions, what are they? Anyone?
Decisions made of information collected.
Okay, good attempt, thank you. However, that may not be the correct answer. Thank you for your attempt though, Sammy. What was it, Sammy? Sammy, it was you, right? Okay, when you talk about strategic decisions, we're talking about long-term decisions. Strategic goals is long-term goals, so strategic decisions are long-term decisions. So you're talking about most likely future course of action when you're dealing with strategic decisions. So you have collected the data, that's what Semi said, and you are correct. You have collected data and you're trying to make a decision on it. But when you talk about strategic decision, this is about you trying to come up with goals and objectives from those decisions for a longer period of time, which is in the future, let's say for 3 to 5 years, something like that. Now, question number 2. What are 5 common reasons for systems project? So we'll go and list them down. So 5 common reasons. Now this was explained in the lecture notes very well. You had a diagram. So it just says what are, it doesn't say describe, or it doesn't say put it down in detail. So we'll just go and list it down. So the first one is improved service. I think you have a question somewhere at the bottom, eh? Question number 9, which will basically ask, number 8, which will basically ask it to reason it out. So we list it down and the reasons we'll give it later. Okay, 1 is improved service. Second one is better performance. Reasons why you want to have a systems project for better performance. Third, support for new products and services. Fourth one is more information. Next up is for stronger controls. And the last one is reduced cost. So those are the 6 reasons for why you want to come up with the new systems project. Question number 3. What are some
Can you repeat the second point for the question number 2?
second point is better performance. Thank you, Janesh. Better performance. Okay, let me repeat the entire thing. First one is improved service. Second one is better performance. Third one is support for new products and services. Next up, fourth point is more information. Fifth point is stronger controls. And the 6th one is reduced costs. So those are the 6 reasons. Generally, it had asked for 5, but I have given in 6. Question number 3. What are some internal and external factors that affect systems project? So we are supposed to identify some internal. The internal are all those factors taking place within the organization, and external would be outside the organization. Okay, so what are some factors that affect the project? So let's list down internal. The first one is strategic plan. Second one is top level managers and their decisions. Second one is top level managers and their decisions. Even if you write down top managers, I'll also accept that. After that, the third point is user requests. Fourth point that you have there is information technology development. Information technology development. And the last internal factor would be existing systems. Last one is existing systems. Moving on to the external factors. So write down external factors. You have the first one as technology. Second one is suppliers. That one, let's put down as customers. After that, you have competitors. Then you have economy. And the last one is government. And the last one is government. That's it. Any questions on question number 3?
Can you see the second one again, please?
For of them. So
The second one for external factor.
suppliers. You have technology, suppliers, customers, competitors, the economy or economy, and government. All good, Sammy? Thank you. Question number 4. What are some advantages and disadvantages of a systems review committee? Now, just on a side point, you should be able to know what system review committees are. So generally, if you want to, you can write this down. Systems review committee, evaluate system requests. Systems review committee, evaluate systems requests. In other words, if you try to put it in simple terms, just to understand it simply, do not write this down. If there is a need, if people in the organization feel that there's a need for a new systems project, so what they generally do is they document it and give it to the system analyst or the IT department. So that document is called systems request. Now that systems request document is basically assessed and evaluated by a committee, and that committee is called as a systems review committee. So therefore, systems review committee, they evaluate system requests. So let's get down to the question. First one is we'll look at the advantages. So write down advantages. So the first advantage is it helps in evaluating. First advantage is it helps in evaluating the system requests. It helps in evaluating the system requests. Second advantage, it provides various experience. It provides various experience at the time of evaluating. At the time of evaluating system requests. Evaluating system requests. Next point. Priorities can be set. Priorities can be set. More effectively than any individual in system review committee, than any individual in system review committee. Full stop. Now, just a side note, what this point is saying, in the other words, is instead of an individual making the decision, you have a group of people making the decision. Okay, so priorities are set based on the group review and not on individual review. So that comes to our very last point, which is one person view. Last advantage, one person view cannot affect the committee decision. One person view cannot affect the committee decision. One person view cannot affect the committee decision. Full stop. Moving on, let's put down disadvantages. First one, many individuals with different views, many individuals with different views many individuals with different views an idea can lead and idea can lead to delay in decision making. Lead to delay in decision making. Full stop. Many individuals with different views and idea can lead to delay in decision making. Next disadvantage. Prolonged sessions of the committee, prolonged, P-R-O-L-O-N-G-E-D, prolonged sessions of the committee, prolonged sessions of the committee results in high expenditure. Prolonged sessions of the committee results in high expenditure. Next disadvantage, compromised decisions. Compromise decisions. Put down a dash. Conflicting viewpoints. Compromise decisions, put down a dash. Conflicting viewpoints. Conflicting viewpoints can lead to conflicting viewpoints can lead to compromising valuable ideas. conflicting viewpoints can lead to compromising valuable ideas. Full stop. And the last disadvantage that we have is domination by few. Last one is domination by few. Put on a dash. If the high level bosses, if the high level bosses are part of the committee, comma, are part of the committee, comma, there is a likely chance, there is a likely chance that the other employees may be frightened to speak against their ideas, to speak against their ideas, to speak against their ideas, even though it may be, even though it may be a flop idea. A flop idea, full stop. So the last point, what it simply means is this, let's say in a committee, so one of the committee members is actually, let's say, the owner of the business, okay? So if the owner of the business comes up with an idea, and that idea may be a flop idea, but the other employees may not speak against it because they are too afraid to speak against the boss. So what happens is that there is a domination by a few in that committee, in this case the boss, so it may be a disadvantage to the other members. Question number 5. What is feasibility? List and briefly discuss 4 feasibility tests. So first of all, we look at feasibility. So feasibility analysis is used to determine the viability, viability, viability of an idea. When you talk about viability means how genuine is the idea. Talk about the viability of an idea. Full stop. It tells us whether a project tells us whether a project is worth the investment, is worth the investment, is worth the investment, or is doable, or is doable. Spelling of doable, do and able, D-O-A-B-L-E, doable. So let's go and discuss the 4 types of feasibilities. Remember, there's not 4, there's more than 4, but these 4 are the common ones. First one is operational feasibility. Operational feasibility. Give a dash or a hyphen. Means that a proposed project means that a proposed project, sorry, can you cancel out the word project and write down system? Means that a proposed system will be used effectively, will be used effectively after it has been developed. After it has been developed. After it has been developed, full stop. Next feasibility is technical feasibility. Technical feasibility dash refers to the technical resources, refers to the technical resources refers to the technical resources needed to develop, comma, purchase, comma, install, comma, purchase, comma, install, comma, or operate a system, or operate the system, full stop. Next up is economic feasibility, and put on a dash, economic feasibility, and put down a dash. Means that the project, means that the projected benefits, means that the projected benefits means that the projected benefits of the proposed system, projected benefits of the proposed system outweigh the estimated costs? Outweigh the estimated costs. Outweigh the estimated costs. Usually considered the total cost of ownership. Usually considered the total costs of ownership. In brackets, you can write down TCO. And the last feasibility that you have is schedule feasibility. Schedule feasibility. And put on a dash. Means that a project can be implemented. Means that a project can be implemented in an acceptable time frame. Means that a project can be implemented in an acceptable time frame. Full stop. Implemented in an acceptable time frame. Full stop. So that takes us to question number 6. How do tangible benefits differ from intangible benefits? So just on a side note, tangible benefits and intangible benefits, they become part of economic feasibility. They will be counted in as projected benefits. So let's go and differentiate between the two. Tangible benefits are measured in dollars. Tangible benefits are measured in dollars. Example, increases in revenue, comma, increases in revenue, comma, decreases in expense, comma, decreases in expense, comma, and increase in sales. Full stop. Intangible benefits, on the other hand, is not measured in dollars. Is not measured in dollars, comma, is not measured in dollars, comma, but are beneficial. But are beneficial. Example, customer satisfaction. Or employee job satisfaction. Example, customer satisfaction or employee job satisfaction. Full stop. Pretty simple. Okay, question number 7. What is project scope? What is constraint? In what 3 ways are constraints classified? So let's go and define project scope first. So project scope is the defining of project scope is the defining of specific boundaries, comma, specific boundaries, comma, or extent, comma, or extent, E-X-T-E-N-T, E-X-T-E-N-T, or extent, comma, of the project, full stop. Project scope is a defining of specific boundaries or extent of the project. Now, project constraint. Constraint, put down a dash, are conditions which must be satisfied, are conditions which must be satisfied by the system. Conditions which must be satisfied by the system. Full stop. The 3 classifications of constraints are cost. When you talk about cost, you don't need to write this, but when you talk about cost, you're talking about the financial side of a particular project or the budget. So the constraints, first one is cost, comma, the next one is scope. Scope is more like the project goal, scope, and the last one is time, which is like the project schedule. So the 3 classifications of constraints are cost, scope, and time. All right, question number 8. Discuss in detail at least 4 of the main reasons for systems requests, including examples where applicable. So now what we're doing is, I think this was basically question number 2, I think. Yeah, question number 2. Something. Yeah, question number 2. So what we're doing here is we are just describing them. So first of all, improved service. Improved service, so we have to discuss it. So improved service, put on a dash. Aimed at improving service. aimed at improving service to customers or users within the company. Within the company. Next up, we'll look at support for new products and services. That's your next reason. New products or services and services rather. Support for new products and services. Put on a dash and you write down new products and services often. New products and services often require new types. Often require new types or levels of IT support. Full stop. New products and services often require new types or level of IT support. We'll try to keep it as short and simple so that it becomes easy for you to recall and remember. Next up is better performance. Let's put down as better performance. Better performance and a dash. The current system might not meet the current system might not meet the current system might not meet performance requirements. Full stop. Might not meet performance requirements. Full stop. Next point, more information. Dash. More information. The system might produce information. The system might produce information that is insufficient, comma, that is insufficient, comma, incomplete, comma, or unable to support the companies, or unable to support the company's changing information needs. Support the company's changing information needs. Full stop. Next point, stronger controls dash. Stronger controls dash. A system must have effective controls. A system must have effective controls to ensure that data is secure and accurate. Controls to ensure that data is secure and accurate. Full stop. The last one from there is reduced cost. Reduced cost. Dash. The current system must be expensive. The current system must be expensive. To operate or maintain. The current system could be expensive to operate or maintain. As a result of technical problems, comma, as a result of technical problems, comma, design weaknesses, comma, design weaknesses, comma, or the changing demands of the business, or the changing demands of the business. Full stop. Or the changing demands of the business. Full stop. Question number 9. Describe in detail at least 4 of the internal factors that the business decision a company takes. So this also would be a bit lengthy answer. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. So generally, we have few of the internal factors. First one is strategic plan. Strategic plan, and give it a dash. Strategic plan, dash. It gives the overall direction of the firm. It gives the overall direction of the firm. And has an important impact. And has an important impact on IT projects? Overall direction for the firm and has an important impact on IT projects. Full stop. Next is top managers. Top managers dash directives from top managers. Directives, direct IVS, directives from top managers are a prime source of large-scale systems project. Are a prime source of large-scale systems project. Source of large-scale systems project. Full stop. Next is user requests. Dash. User requests dash users rely more heavily on information systems. Users rely more heavily on information systems to perform their jobs, comma, comma, they are more likely to request, they are more likely to request more IT services and support. More IT services and support. Full stop. Next point is IT department or information technology department dash many systems project requests, many systems project requests, many systems project requests come from the IT department based on their knowledge of on their knowledge of based on their knowledge of business operations and technology trends. Knowledge of business operations and technology trends. And the last one over there, the very last internal factor is existing systems and data. Existing systems and data. Dash existing systems and data dash errors or problems in existing systems, errors or problems in existing systems, errors or problems in existing systems can trigger requests, can trigger requests for systems project, for systems projects, make it SM projects, full stop, can trigger requests for systems projects, full stop. So that finishes question number 9. Let's move on to the very last question that we have, and the question reads as, outline the steps typically conducted during the preliminary investigation. So if you would read through the notes very, very well, there are 6 steps in total. So we'll put it down in the most simple way as possible. So step 1, understand the problem or opportunity. Step 1, understand the problem or opportunity. Step 2, define the project scope and constraints. Step 2, define the project scope and constraints. Step 3, perform fact-finding. Step 3, perform fact-finding. Step 4, analyze project usability, comma, analyze project usability, comma, cost, comma, benefit, comma, cost, comma, benefit, comma, and schedule data. And schedule data.
So can you repeat that line again?
Step 4 is analyze project usability, comma, cost, comma, benefit, comma, and schedule data. So it reads as step 4, analyze project usability, cost, benefit, and schedule data. Is that all right, Javi?
So schedule.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Schedule data, yes.
Okay.
Step 5, evaluate feasibility. Step 5, evaluate feasibility. Step 6, present results and recommendation. Present results and recommendations. Present results and recommendations to management. Presents results and recommendations to management. Full stop. So that finishes our tutorial 2 discussion. Any questions, any queries, anyone? Okay then, so if no questions and no queries, so this is where we'll knock off the class for today. Thank you very much everyone for joining in, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you. So take care and stay safe.
So
Yes, Javi.
So can I just send you my email now through Zoom? Since we are both active at the moment through Zoom, so
Sure. So
okay. Regarding my student email password.
yes, just drop me an email and I will be able to do that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Javi.